Hey everyone, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here, bringing you a personal update. This is going to be kind of outside of the normal type of videos that I do, but I've had a lot of questions, different types of questions in the last month or two, involving various ways, asking me different things about how I play the game. And I've had some accusations, which I've tried to be pretty clear and pretty open about how I play the game. I'm just laying it out all out on the board. So I want to discuss that, and mainly how my strategy and the way that I'm playing the game has changed over the last several months. It is much different than what it was, say, I don't know, mid-year last year. And I've been playing 9.5 months now. So we'll take a look at the numbers. We'll take a look at exactly where I stand, considering all things involved, the parcels I've bought, the money I've brought in, the money that the rent I brought in that I turned around and I spent on subscriptions. We'll take a look at that and see where I stand. If that sounds interesting to you, please hang out. But before that, I just want to say that I appreciate when everybody has subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed and you're getting value out of this content, please subscribe. The numbers show in my metrics that over 60% of people who watch my videos just aren't subscribed. So if you could subscribe, that would help me out. Thanks. And also leave a like on the video if it helps you out or you get any type of value out of it. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. Well, it's almost like this video doesn't want to be made. I have had a variety of audio issues today, and I thought I'd share this because why not laugh at myself instead of beating myself up. This is the first time in probably almost 3 years of recording videos that I've done this, but whenever I'm recording, I kind of leave my clicker on the record button, and I click it, and I automatically start talking. Well, what happened was I got 20 minutes into this video and had it almost wrapped up. And then I look over and I see that I wasn't recording. In fact, what I was doing was I was stopping the video when I should have been starting the video, and vice versa. So I ended up with like 6 different clips. I usually have a number of clips that I have to edit together for the video. So I had like 6 different clips of just me doing nothing. Anyway, you'll have to forgive me. I had to get that out of my system. Okay, so on with the video, and thanks for humoring me. So here we are. Where am I after 9.5 months with Atlas Earth? I'm at almost $200. You can see right there, and I'm sitting at the top of the 7% boost tier here in the United States at 625 parcels. And that's what I've overall earned in the last 9.5 months. Now, is that my profit? No. We'll take a look at that. I swapped over here to my PayPal account because this is what I consider my accurate earnings. Okay, so there's a difference between almost $200 and $125. Okay, so we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth as we get into this, as I describe how my play has changed. But the difference of almost $75 is that some of that money has gone into subscribing to the challenge ladder, and some of that money has gone into conversions for Atlas bucks. And that's really all I've spent the money on. Okay. But if you're new here and you're just catching up, I devised, well, I didn't even do it. I got it off somebody on the boards. And I'm sorry, I don't remember your name at this time, but people were talking about it. And I had to have a strategic plan of what I wanted to do with the money I made in Atlas Earth. So I thought this was the best plan I'd heard of. So what I do is whenever I make money in Atlas Earth and it gets to be over $10, then I remove it and I put it into my PayPal account, and then I automatically put it into my PayPal savings. And then the savings is earning just a little bit more than 4% interest. It's a little bit, but still, it's better than what my real savings account's earning, right? So that's the way I figured it. Now, as time goes forward, at the end of the month, when my charge card is charged for that subscription to the challenge ladder for $10, then I go ahead and I remove that from this account to keep this account accurate. And then I put that money back into my savings account. This is very deliberate to try and keep an accurate look at what I consider my overall profit from playing. Okay, so I consider this is one part of my profit, but some of that other money I don't consider wasted at all, because the subscription to the challenge ladder over the last several months, and this represents also forward paying for February, because I wanted to bring it up to date and make sure I was accurate when I did this video, because I already paid. The payment will come out of the charge tomorrow, but I want to go ahead since I was doing this video tonight. Anyway, on top of for that extra $75 that I've spent out of my rent, I consider it well spent. Some of it was spent in Atlas buck conversions to meet the different challenge ladder rungs within November, December, and January. And the greatest portion of it was spent in November. I had to back subscribe. It cost me $15 because I didn't get in early enough to pay the $10 fee. But I had worked my way 3/4 of the month. I had worked my way high enough on the ladder that I figured it was going to be a good enough value to go ahead and pay that $15. And I went ahead and did that, plus the $10 for December, January, and February. That's all represented here. But I also I've also at this point got 3 legendary parcel upgrades out of that as well too, which I consider a great value, as well as an extra little bit more than 1,000 Atlas bucks per month. And that's just for the premium side. That's not counting the free side that everybody gets. Now, let's talk a little bit about how I play, how I started out playing, and how that's changed, right? Because, like I said, my videos have evolved because I've learned the game has changed by a large margin over the last several months. So my strategy has changed as well, largely due to the challenge ladder. Okay, so I started out doing what most people do. I was trying to find the best course for myself to take. I found myself following Tasty Wallet's guide, which is linked in my show notes if you want to check it out, by doing intermittent tier jumping, as well as buying my badges when I should. And it worked pretty well. And I found at one point I ended up actually doing a triple tier jump at one time. Took me quite a while to save up for that, but the point was I was basically sneaking up on somebody that was mayor in my area, and I wanted to out-level them by a significant amount and cement my leadership in the area, which I ended up doing. So over the last year, I've also taken over mayor of my area, and I've pretty well cemented it as much as you can, because these days, you know as well as I do, you never know when one of the high rollers roll through town, they're going to swap it out from underneath you. But anyway, I'm mayor in one place, and I'm currently working on mayor in a second area. So I started out doing the tier jumping thing, and it worked pretty well. And then flash forward to November when they debuted the challenge ladder. So I was not able to get in on the $9.99 subscription. Like I said, I ended up having to pay the $14.99 in the middle of the month. But the key takeaway there is, and I've done a couple videos on this, is that I really find the value in that monthly subscription, getting more than an extra 1,000 Atlas bucks, as well as that legendary parcel upgrade, which, by the way, I have 3 that I haven't placed yet, and I'm kind of wondering where I should place them. Let me know in the comments if you think of a good place to place them. But what I found was, when I started doing the challenge ladder, it almost makes tier jumping impossible if you're trying to follow the challenges. Okay, and I think that this was part of the reason why they devised this challenge ladder, to keep people, or not to keep people, but to get people buying parcels on a more daily basis instead of saving up a bunch and buying all at one time. I think that that was one of the reasons in the background, and they've been successful, right? But the point was that I had to change the way I played, because tier jumping relies upon you getting to a certain number and just staying there until you can afford to jump to that next tier. And it's a wide range in there, anywhere, depending upon where you are in the world. It might be 30 all the way up to 100 and more per tier, right? And then the challenges only require you to buy one, and the challenges have changed rapidly, or by a large amount. If you did the challenges in November, you know what I'm talking about. They were huge. But from a play perspective, it's easier to start up high and work your way down low versus starting out low and working your way up high. And they came down in December, and then they came down even further in January. So, November took me almost all the way through the month, just up until that last day to complete the ladder. December, I completed it about 3 weeks. It took me about 3 weeks to complete it. And then in January, I completed it in like 5 days. So I'm not complaining. And it's obvious that they're doing these changes. And Manning has said they're trying to find the right numbers, the right values. They're trying to bring more people on board with the ladder and give greater value to people, because people will subscribe if they see value in it, right? So I've had to take and kind of mutate my tier jumping with that. So basically, let's take a look at my numbers, and I'll give you an example because I have a specific plan on going into February. Okay, I'm over here on the Atlas Earth Calculator website. Just to give you an example, because one of the big questions that comes up is people have asked me, several people have asked me, what do you mean by if you break tier, you lose money? Okay, and I'm going to give you a specific example here of why I say that, and also give you a specific example of how I am changing or I have changed, because I've done this in December and also January, how I've changed my play style to try and do a tier jump within the month. And obviously it's not going to be all at one time, because you have to take steps to meet the challenge, the different levels of challenge of buy parcel. But I'm trying to reduce the amount of time that I'm sitting in the middle of the tier somewhere. So that's basically my plan. So let's take a look here. So here I am. This is my 625. Okay. Now looking back over, I think that November was just an outlier because it was very high numbers. But between December and January, who knows what February is going to bring. But, like buy parcel 1 has been 1 parcel. And then buy parcel 2 has been like 3 to 5 parcels, right? So if we can just say like the 2 first levels of buy parcel is about 6 parcels. It might be more or less. Now, the way I approach it is in January, buy parcel 1 did not come up until like 12 or 13 on the list. That means you had to work your way through a few challenges to get that to pop up. So what I do is I work my way through 5 or 6, 7 challenges, right? The game ones, maybe the convert Atlas bucks ones, the buy badge ones, just whatever you can do to get that buy parcel 1 up. And then you do a few more, play some games or whatever, so that the buy parcel 1 and the buy parcel 2 are stacked up. You can't have both of them on the screen at the same time, but you can have them stacked up so that you've done plenty of the other challenges, so that you know that once you do the buy parcel 1 and complete that, then the buy parcel 2 is going to pop up. So I get those stacked up after, 10 or 15 challenges, and then I go out and buy my parcels. Sometimes, I have to go and travel. So I try to time this right so I don't have to travel multiple times to get the parcels. So with that said, what we're going to take a look at is, let's just say that I buy 6 parcels. Okay. Let's take a look at where I am now. Okay. You can see that I'm about 89 cents. I was making sure you could see the number. My head wasn't in the way. 89 cents per day. That's my average for a daily basis. Now, this is the reason why I say, and I'm sitting at the top of the tier. This is the reason why I say I'm losing money by break tier. So let's just do this. Let's say that because I don't have great luck here. Let's say 4 of those parcels I buy are commons and 2 are rares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now remember, I was making 89 cents a day. Now I am making just over 82 cents a day. Okay. So 7 cents a day loss. Okay, so that's not a whole lot. And that goes back to, let's bring up my calculator. Let's just say I was mid-tier for, at this portion, when I start adding extra parcels to clear the challenge ladder, it's not going to add a whole lot per day until I go ahead and boost up to the end of the tier past the break-even point. But say, 7 cents times, even if I went for 12 days, that's only 84 cents that I've lost. What have I picked up? Well, I've picked up a lot of Atlas bucks in the way of completing the challenge ladder on the premium side. So that's why I keep saying that I found great value in the challenge ladder. I don't make any money from Atlas Earth. They do not sponsor this channel. They don't. In fact, I think I may have pinged with Manning just a couple times to chat in Discord. That's the extent of my contact with the team, just to ask questions. So I just wanted to be clear about that. But I'm expressing this, that I feel that the reason I'm doing this and breaking tier is the fact that the value I'm getting out of the Atlas bucks and the overall legendary parcel upgrade is worth far more than the 82 cents that I might have, or 84 cents that I might have lost being in between tier. Okay, so that's my point. Now, with that said, just comparatively speaking, between January and December, after I get the buy one parcel and buy parcel second level out of the way, then I usually have a few days worth of challenges that I have to complete to be able to open up that third level. And then also the same way with the last level. Now, this is the tricky part because the numbers have been changing so rapidly, okay? Because I don't want to wait much longer in the middle of my tier at just like, just 5 or 6 parcels, over my tier. I don't want to wait there too long because I'm losing money, right? So by the time I hit that third tier and I know that I've gotten that full, how many ever extra parcels, where there may be 70 more left or whatever to go, then I have to judge how much extra I'm going to do on that third tier. So that third tier might be buy 10 or buy 15. I might go ahead and buy 30 or 40. I still need to maintain a cushion at the top below that top tier so that whenever I open up buy parcel level 4, I can complete that. But I want to go ahead and fill in the rest of this tier as much as possible so that I can make more money while I'm waiting for level 4 to pop up on my ladder. Okay, and then once level 4 does, say for instance, I think the max it was maybe 25. Leave 25 worth of, obviously you have to have the Atlas bucks available, but leave that underneath your tier level. Now, like I said, as they're playing with the numbers, this is all guessing, but the whole goal is to get your get your parcel count up and not stay at that lower amount, just slightly over tier, to get that out of the way and get closer to the break-even point. So if by this point you've been watching the video and you're new here and you don't play Atlas Earth, but you're interested in a game where you can play on the side and do things that you would probably do on your phone anyway and make some extra money on a daily basis, I think you should consider Atlas Earth. Like I said, through the rest of the video, I've been playing it for 9.5 months now. I've made about almost $200. Obviously, I've shown you that it's not all profit. It could be profit if you choose to play differently than I do, but I consider taking part of my rent and putting it back into the game, helping me move my game along faster. In other words, get more parcels on a faster basis, bring up my rent. So, but everybody plays different. Anyway, if this has got your interest piqued, go ahead and use my referral code in the show notes. Get 200 free Atlas bucks when you hit your 11th parcel in game, which is basically 2 parcels for free or 1 badge. And I get 100 out of it as well. I appreciate it. It's a win-win situation, right? Okay, so let's kind of go ahead and wrap this up. So what started out with play as strictly tier jumping and very regimented, saving up a lot of Atlas bucks and tier jumping and buying badges, has evolved, and I still like the tier jumping idea. It just depends upon how you want to play the game and how you can afford to play the game and how you're bringing in money, or how you're bringing in Atlas bucks. It's wrong term, Atlas bucks, not money. Um, you know, on a daily basis, I play games. Lately, I've been trying to finish out some of these long running games like Dice Dreams. I'm almost to the end of that. And I do a few surveys here and there. I also take advantage of using my referral code and getting some referrals in. I also I'm guilty. I use the AMP program. I love it. I love it because I guess I'm lucky to have a few providers around me that I like using. In fact, I just had a salad for lunch today at work from Salad Works, and I got 4-to-1 Atlas bucks. So I make money off of that, and probably a few other things I'm forgetting. But I haven't, even to this point, actually went into the store and bought Atlas bucks outright with my credit card. So I have done the Atlas buck or the rent to Atlas buck conversion, which is required to pass some of the challenge ladders, but I haven't gone up really high. I think the biggest one I did was $8 one month, but most of them was like $1 or $2 or $3, something like that. So that's straightforward how I play. And at this point, my goal in 2025 is to try and do one tier jump a month. And also, I want to firmly cement my second mayorship within the next few months. So overall, those are my goals. And that's how I've been proceeding. Is it perfect? No. Everybody, like I said, everybody's play is going to be a little bit different depending upon your circumstances. And especially if you're outside the United States, there's a great difference between playing the game here in the States and playing the game outside of the United States. And I understand that, and it's brought up. I just don't have much to say about that because I don't have insight. I know, and that's not really what this video is about, but do know that I know about it. And please let me know in the comments how you're doing, whether you're here in the States or not, what your plan is, what you think of, has the challenge ladder changed the way you play the game? I know that's a lot of questions I threw at you. Anyway, I do appreciate you hanging around with me and listen to me banter on. I hope this has been of some value to you. Otherwise, it's been Bronze Dragon, and I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Atlas Earth.